Now, Lisa, can you discuss the role of the Corps on the Elizabeth River Arthur Kill watershed?
Sure. We've been doing work most visibly known for the dredging that's occurred on the Arthur Kill, and 41 dredging the channel to 41 foot and now to 50 foot. But also we have other programs where the flood risk management, where we investigated and actually constructed a levee in the Elizabeth River to help improve any flooding issues that were going on there. But also being a part of the Harbor Estuary Program, the Arthur Kill and the surrounding regions have had a lot of sites that have been on the list for acquisition and restoration, and we are incorporating that into the comprehensive restoration plan that is developed just recently, like in the last couple of weeks. And so we've been involved in the Arthur Kill watershed from deepening to flooding to restoration.
Okay. Now, John, tell us about the Elizabeth River Arthur Kill Watershed Association, how it was formed, why was the association formed, and exactly what does it do?
The Watershed Association was formed through a lot of hard work by Future City Incorporated, faculty from Kane, and certainly the community in getting agreements from various constituents to be the stewards for the watershed, and specifically for the river and the Arthur Kill, the estuary part being a part of that, but not just limiting it to the estuary. The immediate need about 6-7 years ago was simply the idea of clean water that came out, and people were traditionally fishing in the Arthur Kill and the river. And one of the first activities we took on was educating the population, a multilingual campaign about clean water, and specifically to not eat anything that's caught in that particular section. So, you know, we're still in the process, as Lisa mentioned, of restoration through the Army Corps of Engineers and various legislative acts that have cleaned water and air since the 70s. But that really hasn't cleaned up the entire system. So there are organisms that are accumulating toxins. Water quality is still threatened by activities, although not as much as it was a few years ago. So we petitioned through the state. We filled out an application to become a certified watershed association, which allows us access to opportunities to find funding to help coordinate events with the Army Corps of Engineers and other agencies who would probably take us more seriously if we have something behind our organization other than just goodwill and just a grassroots community group. So we've evolved more or less from that grassroots community group to something that has, again, science in our decision making, but we always include the public in all of our activities as well. So this happened about 5 years ago, and again, right in conjunction with the various public outreach events, especially for the public schools, because that's our target audience. We like to come on the television show and talk to the entire community, but we know that the students go home and talk to their parents and immediate relatives, and the more the message gets out there, the more successful we hope to become.
Now, I must commend you because you mentioned 5 years, and it's been, what, this is your 5th anniversary, and you guys have been doing a wonderful job and continuing the good work. Now, do either one of you ever put on the wetsuit and go in yourself, or no?
I haven't in the New York, New Jersey harbor.
You have before?
I haven't.
But you have somewhere?
Yeah, elsewhere, scuba diving, but
wow.
But not here, I haven't.
John?
Not yet.
No, I don't go in the water myself.
Okay.
But I actually have done sampling on the Passaic, where I did don my wetsuit to go and collect sediment samples. So I can say that I've been in it.
Okay, you're doing
just
one,
not underwater.
One better than me. Okay, I won't even do the water slide at Six Flags. So, Lisa, why are watershed associations so important?
Well, I think that government can't do everything, and there's a lot of help that we need. And as John was saying, this as a grassroots effort to reach the communities and the public and work and build those partnerships is absolutely critical, because we tend not to reach at that level as well as we should. And so I think having the associations bring and consider all of the citizens and the schools and the all the different types of entities, including business interests, to the table to build the partnership, and then figure out how we need to solve the problems and actually implement programs that make a difference and that help. And then obviously public education is really critical through these particular events that they're always involved with.
Okay. Now, 5 years ago, we were down at the waterfront, and there was a boat that came through, and a lot of kids, as well as seniors and various residents of Elizabeth, had a wonderful time. There's a lot of knowledge shared. And now here we are, fast forwarding this year. What's going to take place October 10th over at Peterstown, John?
And again, glad you brought back Peterstown. I think we do Estuary Day indoors because we've had a little bit sketchier weather, especially more severe weather possibilities. And Estuary Day is actually aligned with Coast Week across the country, where a lot of clean ocean actions are taking place. So it's the time of the year that's kind of dedicated this early autumn season to looking specifically at coastal areas. And in the spring, we will be at the marina on the boat ride. Okay. So we have an indoor activity planned. The Army Corps of Engineers has a number of educational stations involved, including a touch tank of the organisms that live in the estuary, as well as a broad water campaign that's going on. The Environmental Protection Agency will be there and talking about watersheds and their significance. The Harbor Estuary Program, as Lisa mentioned, the HEP, will be focusing on World Water Monitoring Day, which is a global effort through the internet and some simple chemical tests to get a sense of around the world, certainly around the country, what's going on with various water supplies in the world. The Coast Guard will be there. So thinking about just the partners is overwhelming work, especially by Future City. I play a small role in kind of helping guide some things, and our university will do one of the educational stations with water quality testing. But to bring on an agency such as the Coast Guard with the Army Corps of Engineers, with the EPA, just takes on a whole new meaning. And certainly the kids get great value out of that. They see career opportunities, they see how people actually care about the environment and actually care about them, so it's a great opportunity. We have the Friends of the Estuary will be there, which is a nonprofit group that takes care of educational campaigns as well, and talking about storm drains specifically. And at 10:15, Lisa Jackson, the Commissioner of the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, will be there, as well as other administrative officials from around the city and the region to welcome everybody, including administration from the Army Corps of Engineers, I'm sure. And I'll just add that it's the only Estuary Day in the state. So we think about this as a national program. Not a lot of groups are out there taking a serious look at their estuaries. Now, it's not to point fingers. Many people do a lot of things. So in Barnegat Bay, they do a number of great activities south of us, very much driven by the local community, because they maybe have a greater sense of how connected they are. People move to Barnegat Bay to live on the bay. People generally don't move to Elizabeth to live on the Elizabeth Estuary. So we have a little bit of a separate situation there. So we're fighting for that level of recognition. And again, that's why 5 years, we thank you for commending us, but we need to go 25 years to really have an impact and get a sense of everyone's involvement, from every business, from every community organization, from every resident, to look seriously about the watershed and the issues surrounding it.
Okay. Lisa, can you give us an example of the kind of information the students will receive?
Yeah, as John mentioned about the touch tank, that's my favorite feature.
Right.
I was at the touch tank for Earth Day, and on Thursday they're going to be going out right outside the door and collecting organisms, all different, hopefully very successfully, lots of different fish and rays and skates and mollusks and crabs. And so the kids can actually see and touch these animals, because I think they're always very surprised that this came from, right outside their door. And they'll learn about the animals and get an idea as to why why it's important to restore the estuary for them. And also they're going to learn about the different programs that the Corps is involved with